Every year in college football, there are heavy favorites to win their respected conference, and this year is no different. A lot of people expect certain teams to be the conference champion, with maybe one or two teams potentially having a shot to win. However, I thought today would be a fun idea to take a look at some sleeper teams who could potentially shock the world and win their conference in 2021. Teams that nobody would be expecting. Before we get to today's video, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications if you're new to the channel. If you love college football, then this is definitely the place for you. Also, drop a comment down below and share with me who you think a good sleeper pick is to win their conference. It helps the algorithm with the video, and it helps share the video with more college football fans. Let's start this video off with the SEC. Now, Alabama is all but certainly going to win the conference. They're currently a minus 160 per FanDuel, which actually aren't really that bad odds. Georgia isn't too far behind them, as they're currently a plus 190, so the difference between those two teams isn't all that much. However, it's likely due to the fact that Georgia's only competition this season is Florida in their own division. Yeah, taking a look at how these divisions in the SEC currently look, they really need to realign them because from a competitive balance, they are very, very bad. Anyways, for my sleeper, I'm going to take the Ole Miss Rebels, who currently are 30-1 odds to win the conference. Their 30-1 odds are the biggest odds we'll see in today's video, but hey, it's called a sleeper for a reason. The Rebels went 5-5 in 2020, but they won 4 of their final 5 games and really looked to be turning a corner. Their offense was one of the best in the entire country, but their defense was also one of the worst as well. They scored more than 40 points in half of their games, but they also allowed more than 40 points in half of their games. Hey, if you can improve on the defense just a little, they stand a chance of winning a lot more games this year. Lane Kiffin is at the helm, and Matt Corral showed flashes of being one of the best quarterbacks in the country last year. For the Rebels, they're going to have to make it through a very difficult SEC schedule, which includes a road game at Alabama. But hey, you know, when a team can easily get you 45 points on any given night, I'll take their chances of winning. If you want to take a shot in the dark, a Hail Mary chance at winning yourself a lot of money, Ole Miss at 30-1 odds might be your best shot. With that being said, I still predict the SEC title game to feature Alabama and Georgia. Up next, we're going to head over to the Big Ten, where we're going to be talking about the Indiana Hoosiers, who are currently listed at 20-1 odds to win the conference, the 5th best odds in the Big Ten. Ohio State is the hands-on favorite, currently sitting at minus 220, with Wisconsin up next at plus 600. Just like with Ole Miss in the SEC, the reason this one is a little more difficult is because Indiana plays in the same division as Ohio State. But hey, the Hoosiers almost took down the Buckeyes last season in Columbus. This season, they get them at home. After going 6-2 in 2020, I could easily see Indiana making a run of the Big Ten title. They do have to play Penn State and Michigan on the road, but they can easily take those games. For Indiana, it's really going to come down to that Ohio State game, as the Buckeyes are the team I'm expecting to put up the biggest fight for the conference. If Indiana is able to get that head-to-head win, it'll give them the edge in the Big Ten title game. I've said this many times, and I'll say it again. Don't ever bet against Tom Allen. Up next will be the Big 12. Oklahoma is currently the favorite at minus 170, with Iowa State the next closest at plus 250. The Big 12 does it right because they don't have divisions at all. It's just the 2 best teams that play at the end of the year, which in my opinion is how it should be. After those 2 teams, Oklahoma State, TCU, and Texas are all tied at 12-1 odds. So I guess being tied for the 3rd favorite isn't really a huge sleeper. But I'm going to pick the Texas Longhorns here. I know a lot of people like to give Texas crap, but they've been one of the more underrated teams in college football over the last 3 seasons. They have 25 victories over the last 3 years, which is one of the best numbers for a team that hasn't won their conference. If the Longhorns want to get over the hump in 2021, they're going to have to beat Oklahoma. They've lost their last 3 games to them and 5 of their last 6. However, they've been close. 5 of their last 6 losses to Oklahoma have all been within 1 score. Texas usually is able to hang with them, and if they can win this season and pick up a huge victory, they're going to have an edge at the Big 12 title game. They do have to play Iowa State on the road, which is going to be a tough task, but hey, there's a chance they can win that game as well. It's Texas, so I don't really know what we can expect from them in 2021. If they make the Big 12 title game, I won't be at all surprised. If they finish the season 8-5 and are playing in the Alamo Bowl yet again, I also won't be surprised either. Before we get to the final 2 sleepers, if you could give this video a thumbs up, I would greatly appreciate it. It helps share the video with more college football fans, and it only takes a second to do. Clemson enters the season as the biggest favorite to win their respected conference, as they're currently minus 900 to win. For those of you that are unfamiliar with betting, essentially you have to bet $900 just to win $100. So Vegas thinks that Clemson is going to be the winner this year. Although the Tigers will likely be repeating, I think that this is actually the year they can finally get dethroned. If anyone's going to do it, I think only two teams stand a chance, and they're both 10-1 odds to win the ACC, Miami and North Carolina. With that being said, I think the Tar Heels have the best chance of doing it. The main reason is the fact that North Carolina's schedule is entirely in their favor. They don't even play Clemson during the regular season. They also get to play Miami at home. For what it's worth, Louisville and Boston College, who currently have the 4th and 5th best odds to win the ACC, also don't even play North Carolina this season. So the Tar Heels' schedule is very easy, and if they can win out and take care of business, they're a guarantee to reach the ACC title game. With North Carolina likely reaching the ACC game, you're just banking on them beating Clemson, which is certainly a possibility. A lot of these previous sleepers are tough because they're in the same division as the favorite, but with this one, they stand a chance because all they gotta do is make it to the title game. Wrapping up this list is the Pac-12, which of course is the most balanced Power 5 conference when it comes to the favorites. Oregon is currently the favorite at 2.5-1 odds, with Washington right behind them at 3.5-1 odds. Then you have USC and ASU at 4-1 odds, with Utah being 6-1 odds. So you have a team that's the 5th highest odds to win, and they're only 6-1, so in typical Pac-12 fashion, who knows what's going to take place. I really do think that it's anyone's conference for the taking this season, as I could potentially see 6 or 7 teams having a potential shot to win it all. With that being said, I feel like a lot of people have either Oregon, Washington, or USC winning the conference. So although they're only 4-1 odds, I'm going to take my Arizona State Sun Devils as a sleeper to win the Pac-12. We saw only a 4-game sample size from them last year, so it's not much to go off of. They went 2-2, but that included a 63-point victory over Arizona, which personally was hilarious to watch. As someone who watched every Arizona State game, they should have beaten both USC and UCLA, but they just collapsed in the final minute of both games. This is a damn good Sun Devil team and probably the best team they've had since they were ranked number 7 all the way back in 2014. They have one of the best quarterbacks in the country in Jaden Daniels, and arguably one of the best running back duos in Chip Trayanum and Rachaad White. The Devils do have a tough schedule this year, as they have to play Utah and Washington on the road and have to play USC at home. However, with this year's race being so wide open, expect anything to happen. With that being the case, I'm going to ride with my alma mater. Well, those are the 5 sleepers who I think can shock the world and win their conference in 2021. Who do you think of the Power 5 conferences is the biggest sleeper to win? Was there a team that I didn't bring up that you think could potentially win their conference in 2021? Drop a comment down below and share with me your thoughts. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications. If you love college football content just like this, then this is definitely the place for you. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.